Everybody stay where you are. I'm gonna ask one time. Who are you? We're the Avengers, man.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. You see this? This is my contemplative face. This is my thinking face. This is my face that says I'm going, See, I've been thinking a lot about Avengers Infinity War, which is just coming out on DVD. You remember that when the film came out in cinemas, it was a huge hit. And I reviewed it, I said I liked it enough, but I wasn't completely overwhelmed by it because I didn't feel as emotionally involved as I think you really needed to. Now, I know a load of people who really were. Jack Howard is one of them. I've spoken to loads of teenagers who are real sort of fans who grew up with the Avengers series. And for them, the film was everything that they wanted. They found it emotionally engaging. They felt it left them on a cliffhanger. It had all these different characters and it managed to juggle all these different time periods and worlds really, really well. They loved it. I looked at it and thought, it's good, it's well done, but it's just something that's not grabbing me emotionally. And what I was told was, well, your problem is you don't have that much invested in Avengers. And that's true. I've been thinking about this and it's really starting to bother me. See, I've always said that fandom is really important. And actually, if you're making a movie that has got a huge fan base, you should be aware of what the fans want. I was defending Twilight for ages and ages, saying it doesn't matter what the non-Twilight fans think. By the time you get to the third and fourth installment of that series, you are making the movies for the fans, for the people who have basically willed this thing into existence. And the same is true, particularly when you're talking about fantasy and science fiction and horror movies. I do think the fans have a right to be satisfied. But I also think that the very best movies bridge that gap. They manage to satisfy the fans and also to bring on board new viewers. Now, I have seen all the Avengers movies. I've followed the series, I've watched and enjoyed many of them, but I've never felt that powerful emotional involvement, and that may simply be a facet of age. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to go back and watch Avengers Infinity War on DVD because there is part of me that thinks maybe it was just me. Maybe it was my expectation. Maybe there was something about the mood I was in when I saw the film. I'm not sure that that's true, but I think it might be. So I'm going to give it the perfect viewing experience. I'm going to watch it at home with nobody else to bother me, everything in the right ratio, nice and quiet, nobody interrupting. I'm going to sit down and watch Avengers Infinity War. And here's my question to you. Do you think second time round I'll fall in love with it? I have a suspicion that actually there was something about the way in which I saw it the first time. The fact that I was in a room with a whole bunch of other people who were clearly enjoying it more than me that made me feel slightly alienated from it. And the older I get, the more I'm aware that the circumstances under which you see a film are really important. As I said, immediately afterwards I had a conversation with Jack Howard, whose opinion I respect enormously, and he was completely invested in the film and it really, really worked for him. And he and I have had many really interesting discussions about films about which we disagree. But I keep thinking about Avengers Infinity War and wondering why, although I admired it, I wasn't that swept up in it. And maybe it was my mood or maybe it's the film. So I'm going to watch it, I'm going to give it a second go, I'm going to let you know what I think. And I have an awful feeling that I might have been wrong the first time round.
All right, just get over here, please. Mr. Lord, can you get your folks to circle up?
Mr. Lord. Star-Lord is fine.
We gotta coalesce. Because if all we come at him with is a plucky attitude...
Dude, don't call us plucky. We don't know what it means. All right, we're optimistic, yes. I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good.